Hello, everyone. We are live here on Out of the Box podcast. I'm your host, Jim Andre, and my co host, Bradley Powers. We have two special guests today, Donnie Lothridge and Jim McFarland. How you guys doing today?
All right. Doing good.
So, Bradley, what message do you have for the world today?
Yeah. Never say die. No. Not everything is as it seems. That's more appropriate. And talking of not everything is as it seems, we're going to be discussing parapsychological warfare, mind control, possessions, curses, and spirituality. But and we're also going to be having a look at Donnie Lothridge's book, which he has published. We'd like you to have a look at the book as well, which you'll be seeing some images to actually help guide you towards what sort of theme the book actually is associated with.
Cassidy Lightwing is saying you guys have to bring the volume down on that video, on the intro.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Really? Well, I like it in your face, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we want the viewers to be awake, not half. They gotta pay attention.
Really? Oh, hang on. Let's get this out. Do that. Do my volume. No feedback. Right. So, let's start off with Donnie Lothridge. You've experienced parapsychological warfare. Isn't that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
And you've experienced mind control. So how about that?
Yes, sir.
So, what by extraterrestrials and by the government? Am I right?
Yes, sir. I was abducted by aliens, and then a general in Washington, D.C. hooked me up to the same kind of technology that they use.
I have a question. Donnie. I mean, if there is such thing as mind control and manipulation as such, where does the fairness of judgment play a role?
That's a good question. When, like, if I hit on a nerve on you that makes you mad and just keep hitting it until you slam out of the box, let's say, and you do something violent or whatever, then I really don't think you should be held accountable for it.
Yeah, well, not obviously. Obviously, if you're being controlled by something that's beyond your control, I mean, how can you possibly be judged for your actions when, considering the control element that you're not responsible for your actions to begin with? So if that's the case, and there's demons and there's government black op programs where they mind control and they influence you, they claim that you can be influenced by astrology, by the stars, by the moon. So if you're going to be influenced by an outside force that you're not aware of, everything within religion that talks of judgment must be a big lie to begin with, correct?
I wouldn't say that, because
why wouldn't you?
Because there is forgiveness. I mean, once you step out of that realm,
well, there is forgiveness. Do you think there's a such thing as divinity?
A divine?
Yeah, divine. What is the definition? What is the definition of divinity?
I think sinless would be a definition of it.
Divinity would define being without sin. So now the good Lord himself claims to be divine, right? Good and loving God, forgiving God, right?
Yes.
But yet has killed millions by flood and tells all the children that he created that he loves that if they don't do what he says, they will burn in eternal damnation throughout eternity. Doesn't that kind of like dampen his divinity in some way?
Well, I don't know. You'll have to ask him that question.
Well, no, well, I'm asking
He
people
said,
that have a brain, why would they believe something like that to begin with? I'm not asking him, I'm asking you. I mean, every time everybody has a tough question that they have to answer, well, I don't know the answer to the question, you have to ask him. Well, could you yourself one day get him on the show so that I could ask him that question?
well, the thing about it is, when he left us a will to read, and that's what the Bible is. The Bible's our will.
Yeah,
And,
but where there's contradiction, how can there be belief?
well, there's one way,
And that way, and that's for you to believe through. The only way that's possible to believe is through a brainwashing, because if anybody's got common sense, minus the brainwashing, how can they get themselves to believe such a thing?
well, Jesus
And
Christ
you say yourself, there's mind control and brainwashing.
Yeah. Well, Jesus Christ is the only name under heaven given by which man must be saved.
Would you consider that? Would you
is the Son of
consider
God.
that Jesus? Would you consider that Jesus' mission was a successful mission, or did he fail?
I would. It's still going on.
It's still going on.
Yes.
So, in other words, since his appearance, the world has technically gone downhill for the last 2,000 years. The balance in the world is tilted so far right now in the wrong direction than it's ever been before. The world is how many times is worse before he arrived? In other words, the world was in a better state during his time than it has been in the last 2,000 years. What do we account for that?
Mankind making wrong decisions.
Right, exactly. See, that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm glad you said mankind, because the state that the world is in today is because of humanity itself. We've made it this way. We have nobody to blame but ourselves. It's got nothing to do with a God that's interfering with us, or Satan that we should be afraid of once we depart this experience that we're experiencing. What we gotta see, when we start going in the past and wonder what about the future, and will this man up there help us? Should we be afraid of that man down there? All we're doing is distracting ourselves from the real problem that we have to nip at the bud. And that's the here and now, the reality of the world that we're living in. So while you're over there thinking about this and that, you're not focused on the main problem. And that's what they want you to do. That's why they brainwash you to do that, so they can maintain control. And you don't awaken to what reality really is.
Right. That's the reason why they create all these problems and situations for us to look at, instead of actually fixing one problem before we move on to the next one. Now we got a whole bunch of messes just everywhere. Everywhere you look, ain't nothing but a mess. So, and that's the way we want it.
Gene Miller says you guys all look the same. LOL.
Yeah.
Gene Miller says my wife has control over me and my mind.
Yeah, why am I not getting the comments? Let's get the comments. Yeah, I've got comments. Ha. Yeah, thank you, Gene Miller, for that. Yeah, we all look the same. Yeah, well, this is the Goatee Beers Club, isn't it? This is.
Hello, Lost Link.
Yeah, hi there, Thomas Lynch. Thank you for joining us, and Gene Miller. Pleasure to have you near us. Yeah, so Donnie has had an amazing experience. He's experienced mind control, parapsychological warfare. He's been tortured as well. Is tortured or what therapy, a form of therapy? Was it torture that you experienced?
When I was abducted by aliens, when they were doing their fluid extraction, that would be considered a type of torture because of the pain I went through. But they tried to use my happy experiences to block the pain and stuff. So that would be more like a more like a scientific experiment than it was actually torture on their vessel. But then when the government, they had me hooked to this thing for years and years. Then when they switched me over is when the torture started. So, and for what reason they don't have one.
Yeah.
And I asked them about my constitutional rights, and they say you don't have any here. I tried to get 3 federal lawyers, and they all told me the same thing. We're not touching what we know what they got you hooked to, and there's no way we touching it. We have families of our own. So when you're hooked to something and you can't get no help nowhere, that's a bad situation.
And what sort of extraterrestrials do you think they were, Donnie?
I lost you. Say it again, please.
You there, Donnie?
Say it again. Yeah, say it again, please.
Yeah. What sort of extraterrestrials were they, do you believe?
Short. They were kind on Area 51. They were short grays.
Short
That's
grays.
Zeta Reticuli,
yeah. They brought me back if they hadn't, I'd have died. So they do have, they knew what they were doing.
Okay. And who treated you the worst?
The government did, as far as torture goes. They cut my teeth out of my head and run me out of the state one time on it. When they first turned it on, they said, we want to show you that we have you and you ain't going nowhere. And I said, well, looks like I need to get me a lawyer. And they said, well, you can try if you want to, but you'll find we own them all. So
now, what is the purpose behind it? Do you know?
That's a good question. I don't know. I have no idea. I worked narcotics for years and years. Now, if it's linked to whoever, that could be it. They were saying at one time, if you opposed what the government had in mind, they would hook you to this thing. So left wing, right wing, whatever. We all know the government's a business and it's about making money. So being a law enforcement, my idea was saving lives. It didn't matter to me. You out here killing people with your mess. If you can't control your animal, let's put him in a cage.
Gene Miller is asking, why don't aliens cure diseases? I believe they can and have, actually.
Yeah. This thing I'm hooked to.
As a matter of fact, Jim McFarland could give us a little rundown on what I'm trying to say right now, with the experience that he had. You want to do that, Jim?
Yeah.
All right. Explain that situation that you experienced.
Well, I had lung cancer. I got the coughing up blood clots. So one night I wake up middle of the night and there's 3 alien grease down at the foot of my bed. The middle one steps out, walks around the side of the bed and puts his hand on my chest. It was like Jesus Christ put his hand on me, or God put his hand on me, just as peaceful. Well, I closed my eyes. It scared the hell out of me. Well, I closed my eyes, and when I opened my eyes again, they was gone. Well, next morning I called Jim up. I was going to tell him what happened. I thought I'd had a crazy dream. Before I could tell him anything, he said, "Oh, shut up. Let me tell you what happened." He said, "My 3 little friends paid you a visit last night." Well, I ain't had no more problem with my lungs. My lungs cleared up.
Yeah. Excuse me, I'm still sharing.
My internet was weak.
Yeah. Yeah. So, good question from the forum here. Was you religious, Donnie, before the abduction?
Oh, yes, most definitely.
How long had you been religious for?
Well, before I was ever born, I remember sliding in the hallways of heaven and talking with God. when they put this technology on me and run it back, they run it back that far and asked me who was I talking to before I was born. And I said, well, that'd be my father in heaven. I was sliding down the big bright hallways until he called me. So, but yeah, and then every other thing that happened in my life has led up to this point right here. I mean, it's like I've been on a mission, you know. And if you follow my book across, you'll see you link it all together.
Marianne Clark says hello to all the handsome men. Thank you for that, Marianne.
Yeah, thank you. That's very kind of you. Me or all of us. Yeah. Oh, I'm a kidder, aren't I? Thank you for your question. Actually, there is another one. Why don't aliens provide a cure for aging? Well, I believe they already have found the cure. Metatomic. Oh, what's it called? I've forgotten what it's called. Monatomic gold was used by the Egyptians. It extended their life. It removed fatigue. It gave them youthful looks, enhanced their life. Monatomic gold, which allegedly mankind was mining for in the very beginning, hence the reason why we were created, allegedly, by the Anunnaki. And the fact is that monatomic gold can do the most amazing thing. It can open your third eye, help you to become more psychic. You can still buy it on eBay, even today, monatomic gold, little vials. And you take a drop a day. That's all you need, because too much can drive you insane. If you take a drop a day of this monatomic gold, it will actually enhance your life, spiritually and in reality too. And it helped you to stay more youthful looking and extended your life. So they knew something, didn't they? That we don't use it today, but the Egyptians used it back then. Hi there, Marion Clark. Thank you for joining us.
Gene Miller is asking if they cleared up your lungs, which is great. Why are you still smoking? I guess that's for Jim McFarland.
Because I'm an idiot. I have slowed down. I used to smoke 4 packs of cigarettes a day. Now I'm down to smoking 4 cigars a day.
Well, that's good. That's an improvement. At least you're trying.
Damn, nicotine's the hardest drug on the planet to quit.
Thank you for joining us, everybody. Facebook user says yes. I've just one I was looking for. Yeah, aliens know about a creator. Yeah, I reckon they do. I believe they do. They are ascended masters, so they should know. And Marianne Clark says, haha, especially you, Bradley Powers. Is that good or bad? Joey Lowe says some aliens will help and do, but there are some who don't care too much, as I found out when I was taken by aliens. I don't think we're the same ones who took me before, as this time I was in hospital for 5 days. And doctors still don't have a clue how these things happened to me without a very bad fall from a great height, which didn't happen. Joey was abducted. We've had Joey on here before. He was abducted. And the doctors are saying that he fell from a very great height, hence his injury, hence his condition, hence his trauma, you know. So even the doctors don't actually know the real reason, but Joey believes he does.
I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit.
Yeah, and Dylan Glover says, just got here. What's the topic? The topic is parapsychological warfare, mind control, extraterrestrials, paranormal phenomena, of course. Esoteric intellect is on hand here, blessed with diplomacy. That's what we got.
Jim, Gene Miller is asking, when the aliens approached you, did it scare you?
Hell yeah, it scared me. Scared the shit out of me till he laid his hand on me, and it was like God put his hand on me. But the sad thing of it is, when it happened, I couldn't do nothing about it. I'm 6'2", and I got an 8th degree black belt in Jeet Kune Do. I couldn't move. I was paralyzed. It was like I had sleep paralysis. I could see, and that was it. I couldn't speak. I couldn't move. I couldn't do shit. That's a scary ass feeling.
Yeah, I believe you.
But I'm not kidding you. The second he laid his hand on my chest, it was the most peaceful feeling I ever felt. I never felt that before. It was like God put his hand on you.
Yeah. What amazing phenomena that you experienced. And obviously you are a chosen one, because you wouldn't be going through all this otherwise. Chosen for what, though? Well, you're still on a journey of self-discovery, and you haven't discovered what you've been chosen for, if you're not yet.
I'm a true believer that all answers come when they're supposed to.
Welcome to the show, Miller, Thomas Lynch, Marianne Clark, John Mormon, Dylan Glover. Thank you for joining us. Joey Lowell. Pleasure to have you near us. Yes.
So Donnie, tell us a little bit about your book.
Well, it took me 4 years to write it. It's 191 pages long. The people in this technology that I'm hooked to helped me write some of it as far as memory stuff goes. It was a very big book to start with. I wrote it out of my notes and stuff that I'd taken, but some of the stuff I put in it was not in my notes, and then I ended up taking it back out because the book was too big, so I kept cutting it down. But it's life experiences, things I've been through, things I've witnessed, where God's delivered me over and over in my life. Just stuff like that.
Now, is this a picture on your book?
Yes, sir, it is.
That is Donnie Lothridge in his smoking jacket.
Is that on the cover or?
No, sir, that's just my picture that goes. I don't even think my picture's on the book, matter of fact, but that's a picture that I'm using here on Facebook, and that's the cover of my book right there. Bandit and Outlaw.
That's the cover. That's the actual cover of the book.
Yes, sir. And it's like I said, it's an autobiography. It just tells my life since
And what is this here, Donnie? What does this say? I can't make it any bigger than that.
Can you read that, Donnie?
I can make it bigger here. I think I can make it bigger here to where I can read it. It says, Bandit and Outlaw for God. My autobiography is 191 pages long. It is about life, death, and the hereafter. It is about God, alien abduction, and ghosts. You'll find drug dealers and death, truck driving, and law enforcement. And pastors will see miracles and an unbelievable walk with God and the beast. Because of the book content and life situations, it is of adult nature.
So what type of message is within the book itself? What are you trying to convey with your book? What will people learn from it?
That regardless of your circumstance, there is a higher power. And like my life has always been set, even though there's a lot of crookedness goes on in my life, I've been on a path. So we're all here for a reason and a purpose. Nobody's life is expendable. All of us are very important. So I didn't.
We do have a question.
I wanted. Go ahead.
Donnie, did you hear them speak? What were they wearing? By Gene Miller. Thank you, Gene Miller.
You talking about aliens or these abductors that I got?
Did you hear them speak, the aliens, and what were they wearing?
The aliens? Well, the aliens wasn't wearing anything. And as far as us being able to speak, we spoke with our minds telepathically.
Yeah.
And that's what they do now with this So they're using their technology on me.
Now, Marianne Clark is asking, what was your reaction when this happened? I think she's referring to Jim McFarland.
Scared the hell out of me.
Yeah,
Oh, she
scared
heard
you.
me a while ago. Like I said, when they came to me, I couldn't do nothing. I was in a state of paralysis. All I could do is see and hear. I couldn't move. I couldn't talk. Oh, and the one stepped over on the side of my bed and put his hand on me. Scared the hell out of me. But it was like God put his hand on me. It was instant peace.
What alien species was it?
Short
What
alien
happened during
graves.
abductions? Now, I don't know if that's for you, Jim or Donnie, but both you guys can answer that question. We covered all, I guess.
Well, I don't
So-
remember nothing after he put his hands on me. It was like I went to sleep. When I come to, there was nobody there.
How about you,
Well,
Donnie? What alien species are you connected with?
The short grays.
Short grays,
Like
is
the
that a
ones on Area
reticular? Yeah.
51.
Facebook user says, why did you word outlaw in the title?
Because probably because of the way I worked narcotics, and so I was most of the time, I was known as the bandit on the highway. And the government built me up and made me be whatever they wanted me to be. And I did whatever, whatever had to be done,
So were they in essence using you as like some type of scapegoat? Is that what it is, or?
In a sense of speaking, yeah, because normally they didn't call me in unless they wanted something burned to the ground. And it didn't matter to me whatever it was. So.
There you
Marion
go, Bradley.
Clark.
Bradley, you can read this one off from Joey Lowell.
Okay. Aliens have a great way of making you forget things. They have always blurred themselves from me, even when they took me to the front of their ship and let me look out and see other ships, and when they would tell me things about the human race and how we came to be. Thank you for sharing that, Joey Lowell. Yeah, aliens have a great way of making you forget things. Yeah. And we've got a question here from Marianne Clark. Says, what alien species was it when we know it was the short greys for Donnie? And what happened during your abductions?
What happened during my abduction?
Yeah.
What they basically did was they kept a sheet over my head, which kept me like, I guess, a bear hibernates, and that's what they done. When they pull it over, you just go to sleep the minute it goes over your head, and then when they want to talk to you or pull fluids off your body or whatever, then they remove the sheet where they talking to you and explaining things, pretty much what's going on, or are they talking about something you did in the past which was really funny or whatever while they're doing it. So that's how they done me. And we did talk about God because we went by his planet 2 or 3 times, and they do know who God is, like the other person said. So
This
I like this. Wait a minute, Bradley.
at the time, Donnie, or was you awake?
I stayed asleep most of the time unless they wanted to do something with me.
So that's like a form of astral projection, then, isn't it? Really?
Extra projection.
It could be. Or
Yeah,
they
well,
channeled you anyway.
I was really there.
I like to show everybody my tie clip that Bradley sent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim. What that tie clip is an alien short grey tie clip. I bought Jim Andre as a gift. I've got one. Oh no, I haven't got one on my. Sorry.
Thank you, Bradley.
Yeah, it's my gift to Jim Andre for putting up with me because I'm a nightmare sometimes.
Well, I'm gonna have to send you a shungite stone. I know I keep saying that. You'll get it soon. Would you like a shungite stone, Bradley?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, Jim. I'll put it on my altar. Actually, that's where it go on my altar.
All right.
Where it would generate energy with the other energies that would be on my altar. John Mormon, when you say the grey must have converted, please bear in mind there's good and bad in all species of beings. There's good and bad. You know, there's even good, bad in dragons, and I don't like to admit it, but there is. And even Pleiadians too. Joey Lowe will validate that there's bad rogue Pleiadians out there, and I would have thought they were divine. So please bear in mind, there's good and bad in all these species. I imagine I don't see the tall greys are malicious, malevolent, admittedly, but the short greys are not empathic. They're not malevolent, however, they're not empathic either. I wouldn't say. You know.
So Marianne Clark is saying, so you only seen them and heard them, but never talked, and now they did. I'm sorry, I'm very confused on the change of story. I don't know if she's referring to you, Donnie. She must be referring to you.
Yeah, when they talk to you, like I said, they do it with your minds. Just like when the government used this same technology on me, they looked at every day of my life just like the aliens do. And we talk with our minds.
So that's telepathically. That's through telepathic. Yeah.
Yeah. So when the government, as well as the aliens, when I hit the highway again, when they turned me loose at Washington, D.C., they said, we own you and this trip. And it was telepathically.
And how that works, Marianne, is whatever Donnie doesn't have to talk back to them, whatever Donnie thinks, they can read his mind. Because chances are they must be mind readers too. You know?
That's right. Yeah. They control everything.
And mind readers normally have telepathy. Mind readers are normally telepathists as well. I think, I know it's a generalization, but I do think it's very common for a mind reader to be a telepathist too. And they could read Donnie's mind, so he didn't have to talk back to them. Whatever he thought, they could read. And they knew without him opening his mouth. That's what telepathy can do.
Yeah. And they can give you a visual on it, like show you a movie or show you clips of your mind and conversations you had, or they can put actually thoughts in your mind, but it won't fit with your day-to-day routine. And so you're going, why do I have a memory in the wrong place? It's something I've never done. Why is it even there?
Yeah, they can read your mind. Yeah.
I have one or two in my mind. The general put one there. It's coming.
Go on. Sorry, Jim. Sorry, Donnie.
It's a motorcycle in that. They say it's in Dallas, where he's on a motorcycle riding down the airstrip where they land the jets at. And I'm going, why is that even there? You know. And I don't know if there's a stop for him where he's telling people stop right here, or whether that's his signature. That's letting people know I'm already hooked up when they hook me up later on.
Also, you'll find that extraterrestrials and even some government agents can actually remote view as well. They can look through your eyes, and they can present the image. When you close your eyelids become a screen, like a cinema screen, and you actually see visions on your eyelids. That's where you see your visions as well.
Yeah, that's what me and you talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah, I've experienced that myself, but not from extraterrestrials, from spirits, in my case.
Yes, sir.
Which I didn't know was possible, but I've learned anything is possible, you know. And Jim, Donnie is so passionate about his experiences and what happened to him. He wrote an 191-page autobiography to validate his claims, presenting words of clarity of his experiences. And Joey Lowe says, thank you. So you understand, Marion Clark. Please do ask more, though, Marion, if you're not too clear. Joey Lowe says, I always thought that I was dreaming these things, or maybe I was mental, but I began to see things they told me were true. And these strange things that happened to me every time they took me and brought me back, the massive nosebleeds I would get. Thank you for sharing that, Joey. Joe, we'll have to have you back on the show. It'll be a pleasure to have you.
David Nash says, I'm not getting connection with this podcast. I don't know why that would be.
I'm sorry, David Nash.
Hello, David.
Hello, David Daly. Thank you for joining us. The two Davids are in the house. Oh, it's great when they're here.
David Nash is asking, am I blocked or something? I don't hear or see anything. Just green
You're the
screen.
only one, David. David Nash, you're the first one that's actually has had a complaint about the quality of the show.
No, I
It
don't
must be
know. Another thing might be whatever platform he's watching it on. If he's on Facebook, try to find us on YouTube because we're streaming on 8 different platforms. Try another platform.
Yeah, try my timeline, try Esoteric Hours, try Jim's timeline, try the groups, Truth Seekers Prophecy, Esoteric Family groups. Yeah, that's my suggestion. Yeah.
But there's nothing they can't do with this once they hook you to it, you know. When they started torturing me, I said,
Yeah.
Hey, Brad,
Yeah.
why are you explaining that to David Nash? He just said in the comments he can't hear or see anything, just a green screen.
All right. Yeah. That's a good point.
I don't know if you can tap. I don't know if you can type back to him in that chat box, but he'll reply to him.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, Donnie was talking about reading your mind, Jim. Well, no wonder they paralyzed me when I opened my eyes and seen them there, because the thoughts that was going through my brain, they probably scared the shit out of them.
Colette Ludlow Haight says hi.
hello. When they started that last time they hooked me up with this thing and started torturing me with it, they pushed me down on the bed with it. See, the same technology. And I said, wait a minute, y'all. I was in law enforcement. I said, I'm complying. I don't know what y'all think y'all doing. Y'all violating my constitutional right. And that's when they started their mess. So.
Go ahead, Bradley. Colette Ludlow Haight wants to know what we're talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about psychological warfare, paranormal phenomena, spirituality, mind control. Even we haven't got to curses and what? Possessions. We haven't got to, but it doesn't matter if we don't cover them. But was you possessed, Donnie?
No, sir. Mm-mm.
You wasn't. That's good.
Yeah, but wouldn't be being controlled also be like being possessed? If you're controlled, it's almost like a possession, right? I mean, if you're being controlled, you're not in control, so that's like a possession, right? It's a possession as well.
Yeah, well, since I've been hooked to it since the 80s and talking to people on it pretty much all my life, different agencies and stuff working for them, I pretty well knew, and they told me that they was going to switch me over and interrogate me, I guess is what they call it. They called it process. They said, we're going to turn you over now and process. If we find out what we've been told is true, we're going to kill you right here. So I had men talking to me to where most people may not, you know, and wonder what is going on.
I would consider control and possession the same.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can understand that. Oh. Yeah. So yeah, we covered quite a lot of subjects actually. A lot of esoteric subjects. Yeah. Right. David. Yeah. David can't hear me, can he? Yeah. It looks like it. Bad luck, David. Yeah, it can happen. Gene Miller says, why don't the aliens land and cure all disease and make us be able to live for 200 years or have a cure for aging? Well, have you ever considered that there's fluoride in the water? The chemtrails have got aluminium, barium in it, and other toxins that are unhealthy for human consumption for us to breathe in. The food's got toxins in. and cancer is rife, and we're meant to live till we're 120, and then our genes got a cut-off point, and which scientists don't understand. However, with all the toxins in what we consume on a daily basis, you'll find that we only live till we're 60 or 70. You know, anything over that is a bonus, really. And that is mankind is doing that, not the aliens. You can understand the extraterrestrials thinking, are we worth the time? You know?
Joey Lowell says the aliens have left clues all around the planet that, when found, will help our race grow in the right way.
Yeah. Yeah, like G. Miller is saying, that's my point. They can clear up water and land. Why don't they help us in tech? Ever thought they are helping us in tech? Allegedly, the government are trading humans with the greys and reptilians for technology, you know, allegedly. So, like, they are helping us with technology, aren't they? When you look at it like that. Colette Ludlow Heights says, have any of you ever been possessed? Yeah, I've been possessed twice. And it's very difficult to remove the negative energy from your body. That's not exactly very easy, as you think. It can normally only be done by a chaplain, a shaman. An exorcism can be performed by a chaplain, a shaman, a pastor, priest, even the Pope can perform exorcisms. You know, but it normally takes a professional exorcist to actually remove a negative energy that is possessing you it's in you without your permission. Have you experienced possession, Donnie?
I never have, no, sir.
No, and neither of you, Jim, either. I have you, Jim McFarlane. You haven't either.
No, I haven't.
No.
Well, in a way, you have, Donnie, because control is possession.
Yes, sir. In that sense, yes, sir.
That's a very good point, Jim. That is a very good point.
And one Facebook user is saying we would do population too much, which is true. You know, the longer that each individual lives, the more populated the world would become. And everything has its limits.
I went to see a DA, district attorney, in a small town when I came off the road. And the chief of police or sergeant or whatever he was, me and him got talking about what I was talking to her about this Halo gizmo they using on me and stuff. And he said, you know, he said, we use that overseas, because he was a ex-military. And he said, they can kill you with that thing. I said, I know that. He said, I tell you what, he said, let's take you to the hospital and see if we can find it. And then we'll go from there. So I said, all right. So they got an ambulance come up. I got in it, went to the hospital, and they looked and they couldn't find it. And they kept me for observation for 7 days. You know, once you get the law involved and start talking about things, then first thing they rule out is, are you stable? So anyway, I was there for 7 days. Me and the psychiatrist at the end, they said we couldn't find it. And he told me, he said, it's like hunting a needle in a haystack. That thing ain't no thicker than a hair and ain't no longer than a 1/4 inch. He said, and it can be anywhere in your body if you don't know exactly where it's at. So anyway, after that, after I was there for 7 days, me and the psychiatrist was talking, and I was helping other vets that was in there, you know, just talking to them about whatever they wanted to talk about. So, and he said, you know, he said, to get out of here, all you got to do is say you don't hear voices anymore. I said, it's a miracle, doctor. I don't hear a thing anymore. He started laughing. He said, of course, Donnie, you can stay as long as you want to. He said, because you are a big help around. I said, well, I appreciate it, doctor. I said, but I got a life too. I got to get back to. So, but anyway, I just figured I'd let you know that. So when you start knocking on them doors, you can expect to get arrested. So they kind of got
Joey Lowell is saying, Gene, they are, but they are letting us find our own way to fix this so we learn and don't make the same mistake again. They have fixed the hole in our ozone. When people were hearing the trumpets all around the world over the earth, that was them fixing the ozone. They will not let us destroy this planet. I agree that they will not let us destroy this planet. But I believe that them droning sounds were heard whenever they were firing up that Hadron Collider, smashing atoms in search of the God particle.
Thank you for sharing that, Joey Lowell.
So I went and had I know a buddy of mine, and he runs a studio, and I said, I need a DVD made. I said, because every time I go and try to ask questions about this thing, they want to put me in jail. And he started laughing. He was at law enforcement. He said, yeah, we can make you a DVD, Donnie. He said, you got to stay one step ahead of them guys. I started laughing. I said, man, what they got me hooked to, they ain't no staying one step ahead of them. So anyway, we made a DVD, and I took it to all branches of government, including the Attorney General's office, and they said they'd keep it on file until it went to court, if I ever am able to bring it to court, and then they can present it as evidence. So, like I said, I've touched every base with this thing I know of.
Yeah. Oh, we lost Jim.
We
What?
did.
13 minutes before the show. Well.
Probably his internet. He has trouble with that internet down there sometimes.
Yeah.
There he is.
I know, I'm like a bad dream. I keep coming back.
We missed you, Jim.
Yeah, we missed you. We was talking about you as well. We didn't have long, did we, guys?
We didn't have long.
No.
It was all good, Jim.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yes.
Things always work out one way or another.
Did you want to bang a commercial on, Jim?
Yeah, we can do a quick commercial if that's what you'd like to do. Let's get one in there.
That was a little bit about Parafam. Parafam are an organisation that can help you manifest your own show. So if you're watching this show and you think that you can do what we're doing, present your own show, Parafam can make it happen for you. Just contact me or Jim Andre. Yeah, so like, yeah, and you too could be your own presenter of your own show, and they would help you. They would show you how to put a show together. Okay. They didn't have to show me or Jim because we're professionals.
I don't know about 100% professional, but we try.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Yeah. Well, we've got 10 minutes left of the show anyway. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you near us. Gene Miller, Marion Clark, John Mormon, Dylan Glover, David Nash, David Daly, Rachel Sigler, and many others. Joey Lowell, Colette Ludlow, hi, and forgive me if I missed your name out. Thank you, everyone. Marion Clark, thank you, everyone, for joining us. We've got 9 minutes left. Donnie got to show his book. Brother Stevens, bye. Yeah, Donnie got to show his book. That's good. And we got an advert out there as well.
Hooray! David Nash said, finally got in. Very good, David.
Oh, David. Oh, sorry, David. Yeah, look, David, it's showtime. We're broadcasting. Helping you, it's virtually impossible, except you try different timelines and different groups. And if you're experiencing the same problem, it can only be a Facebook glitch. And Facebook glitches with me and Jim are very common, by the way. We're used to Facebook glitches, aren't we, Jim? Do aliens eat McDonald's, says Gene Miller. Well, do they indeed? Well, maybe the shape-shifting aliens eat McDonald's. Ever thought about that?
Do they go through the drive-through?
Shapeshifters do. Reptilian shapeshifters do. Joey Lowell says, Bradley, a friend who has a channel.
You know, I don't know what they eat. Alien. I've
A
never
lot of
seen
people.
one.
Pretty hard, exactly. So you can learn how they are doing this and how to stop them.
Yeah.
Yes, Joey. Okay. Yeah, Shark. Can you send me a link, Joey? I'd be grateful if you send me a link. David Nash said he had to restart his phone and that did the trick. Yeah, you rebooted your phone. You probably keep charging your phone up and don't reboot it as often. You should reboot it once a day at least, or every other day. And Gene Miller says reptilian eat humans that are alive. Yes, they do. I've read that one, Jim. Yes, they do. They do eat humans alive. Yeah, I believe they do. Because, and it's why? Because the adrenochrome. They're after the adrenochrome. The adrenochrome is like a cocaine to reptilians and alpha draconians. Alpha draconians live beneath the surface of the earth as well as reptilians. Yeah, that's right, Gene Miller. In their world, they have markets with human parts like we have cows and pigs. Cows and pigs. Yeah, agreed. Agree with you totally, Gene Miller. Thank you, Joey Lowe, for that. Just type in sharks happen and go to his videos. It's the last videos he did. Okay, thank you for sharing that, Joey. Joey Lowe. Facebook user says, I think maybe drink blood, and that's why farm animals are drained of blood. Yeah, blood. It was allegedly the royal family used to bathe in blood, and blood made them youthful, what they believed, and it helped them to keep their youth. Their vanity is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, thank you for those questions, and you're sharing your thoughts, feelings, and emotions with us. We are the four kings of Orient. We're the four wise men. Yes. Joey Lowe says that that information is for anybody who puts out videos on YouTube. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, Jim puts out videos on YouTube. Gene Miller says the reptilian would terrify us as humans. Yeah, I totally believe you. And if you ever, like, the best thing you could do, if you met an alpha draconian, is to just stand there and freeze. If you run, you'll become food and you'll become a predator and chase you and catch you and eat you because they're very fast. And they are mind readers. They can read your mind. And whereas if you stand there, they might show you respect, but they can read minds.
Corrine, your news says, hi, gentlemen. I really enjoy your informative conversations. Thank you for that, Corrine.
Yeah, thank you, Corrine. That's really kind of you. And Joey Lowe, finally, Joey Lowe says, other alien races are keeping the reptilians in check. Yes, they are. Like the Intergalactic Council Federation is keeping the malevolent aliens in check. Even though abductions continue, yes, the reason why the malevolent aliens and extraterrestrials do not attack us is because of the Galactic Council Federation. They are actually protecting us. Yeah, G. Miller. I mean, their society would terrify us as humans. I agree with you. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've got 3.5 minutes left.
Yeah. Any final words you'd like to say, Donnie?
I can't think of any right offhand.
All right, how about you, Mr. McFarland? No.
Other
No.
than my book, Bandit and Outlaw for God, I think y'all really enjoy it.
All right.
If you do, I think it'll be one to put on your shelf and keep for future.
I like to
Thank
say that life isn't really as tough or mysterious as it seems. That, you know, the bottom line is life is a journey to be experienced, not a problem to be solved.
Yeah, agreed. Life is a journey to experience, not a problem to be solved. And there you have it. Jim's words of wisdom for you there. It's been a pleasure having you all near us. Thank you for supporting us over the years and being a part of our show. It's a pleasure to hear what your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. It's a pleasure to hear what you're thinking. And I think we all resonate together really well because we actually recognise that what we're talking about may sound out of the box, which is why this show's called Out of the Box. But the truth is, yeah, our words hold clarity. Your words hold clarity. Shane Gilms says, I definitely think they're being monitored by positive ETs. They are very terrifying. Agreed, Shane? Agreed. And G. Miller says, why would they care about some Galactic Federation? The Galactic Federation are loads of many species of extraterrestrials all brought together under one umbrella to form a conglomerate of a massive army bigger than, like the Alpha Draconians have got a huge army of spaceships, yet the Galactic Council of the Federation has got a bigger army than them. Bigger. That's why we're protected. Anyway, on that note, thank you very much for watching. Over to Jim Andre to close the show.
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. Jim McFarland, Donnie Lothridge. We hope to have you on again someday. Thank you for joining me, Bradley.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all again on the next one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Bradley. Thank you, Jim.
You look good. There's my hands are right there.
Yeah,
It's right there.
my days are looking good or over.
Look, it's like looking into a mirror.
What'd you say, my little leprechaun?
Like looking into a mirror, me and you, isn't it, really? I look as good as you when I'm 70.
Yeah, I'll be 70 in September.
I might even have a great big bushy beard, just like you got.
Yeah. But you'll
Well,
never top that. You'll never top that, though.
No, I know.
Messenger video.
Oh, that's Donnie, yeah.
Hello. You should have stood on the. You guys should have just stood in StreamYard. We could have talked there, like we're doing here.
He's always.
What is it? Yeah, I don't know why you didn't stay, Jim. We could all be doing what we were doing there. Same thing. Now I got Bradley on StreamYard and I got you three guys on my phone. All right.
All right, Jim. I'll leave you to it, okay?
All right. I'll talk to you later, Bradley.
Talk to you later. Yeah, thank you for a good show. It went all
All
right. Okay, thank you.
Same here. All right. Bye. Huh?